Pro hockey player from Norway, Jimmy, sent me an interesting question on Instagram. Any tips for quitting sugar and junk food? Or is it just pure willpower? I'm seeing this with many of the young and even older male athletes I work with. Guys have a major trouble avoiding sweets or keeping the amount of unhealthy food they consume in check. They like to munch in the evenings or on off days where you're watching Netflix with your hand glued to a bowl of candy, or you order takeaway meals all day long. I recently made a video about 7 signs you are addicted to sugar or junk food. If you haven't watched it yet, click the card somewhere up here for an intro into this topic, and then come back to this video for solutions. To answer your question, Jimmy, yes and no. Obviously, you need a certain degree of willpower to make things happen. When you quit sugar, the first 1 to 2 weeks are the worst. Make no mistake, it's gonna be rough. Your body and your mind is craving that sweet dopamine rush from eating sugary treats or fast food. Once you get over that initial 2-week hump, things get easier. But you can't expect to just plow through those first 10 to 14 days with unwavering discipline and determination. You know from experience that doesn't work. Otherwise, you would have already conquered your sugar addiction and you wouldn't be watching this video. So what exactly should you do then? Today, I'm going to walk you through a 7-step plan you can use to kill your junk food addiction for good. It's the same plan I have used to revamp my nutrition plan without having to ditch all my favorite foods. And following this plan, I was able to go from skinny fat to ripped while eating burgers and dessert multiple times per week. You ready? Just like in Alcoholics Anonymous, the first step involves admitting that you don't have a healthy relationship with food. Ask yourself, am I the kind of person who eats sugar or junk without being able to control myself? Am I really so easily swayed by unhealthy food that I can't resist, that I can't dictate when and how much I eat, or if I choose to go without? Where you're at right this moment, the answer will be yes. That's normal. What I want you to do now is to sit down for a few minutes, grab a pen and piece of paper, and just write down what's going on in your head. How does food make you feel, and why do you think it's so difficult for you to resist eating things you know you should avoid? That's right, it's going to take some effort on your part to get this part of your life handled. Nobody else is going to see what you write, so be honest. Don't care about grammar or sentence construction. You're not writing an essay for school. I found that this vomiting of my thoughts on paper about how I view food and behave around it helped me gain a ton of clarity on why it happens and what I can do to change my habits for the better. That's the first step. Second step, let's define what really is junk food and what isn't. Is pizza junk food? What about burgers, candy, ice cream, cookies, pastries? It's important we define this before moving forward so we're on the same page here. The way I classify any food is looking at how it was made and the nutritional value it offers. Except for a 5-year-old, nobody would argue that candy is nutritious. And when we look at a bag of store-bought candy, it's nothing but sugar and additives such as emulsifiers, stabilizers, and artificial colors and flavors. Clearly, this is junk food. It does make you feel good when you eat it, but it's made out of crap and has zero nutritional value. Let's take pizza next. Junk or not? There's a huge difference between a frozen pizza you buy at a supermarket versus authentic homemade pizza, whether you whip that up in your kitchen or you go to a restaurant that serves it. The former includes a laundry list of different ingredients, some more natural than others, whereas the latter contains a few basic natural cooking ingredients such as flour, yeast, oil, salt, water, and mushrooms, mozzarella, bell pepper, tomato sauce, or whatever you decide to add as topping. So we can't make a blanket statement that all pizza is junk. Same goes for burgers. Is it junk when you go to a restaurant that sells a tasty grass-fed beef patty between self-baked buns and a slice of tomato, cheddar cheese, some lettuce, jalapenos, and hot sauce? No. When you break each food down like this, you realize that there are few foods you can label as junk in a black and white manner. How a pizza or burger or ice cream or cake is made and what it contains, that's what determines if it's good for you or not. Keep this in mind because we'll come back to this topic in a minute in step 5. Now that we have cleared that up, let's continue with number 3, setting goals. You won't change your nutrition habits unless you have a higher reason to make that change. It's human nature. We are creatures of habit, and it takes some effort to nix bad habits out of your life in exchange for good habits. And the way you do that is by tying your lifestyle change to something you want to achieve, something you aspire to, more than you want to sit on your lazy ass on a Sunday afternoon eating sweets. In my experience, the best goal you can set is body composition related. Getting lean, seeing six-pack abs, having visible veins on your arms and abs, that kind of stuff. If you make your goal more gym performance related, let's say you want to bench press 300 pounds or deadlift 500, it's easy to justify eating fast food because more body mass makes these lifts easier. But when you tie your goal to getting that beach body look or athletic physique with good muscle definition and low body fat, you automatically have to cut a lot of junk out of your diet because otherwise it won't happen. Next step, list all your favorite guilt foods and score them. You will grade each one on a 1 to 10 scale, 1 being horrible and 10 being excellent, in 2 categories. How good does it taste and how it makes you feel after eating it. Not just 5 minutes later, but the rest of the day and tomorrow. Anything below an 8 in either category means you gotta scratch that. When I did this assignment last year, it really opened my eyes. I realized that 80 to 90% of the tasty comfort food I was craving and eating didn't make me feel any good beyond the first couple of bites. Ever since I was a kid, I always liked candy, but now as an adult, I tend to eat too much of it and feel nauseous after. So I'd give it a 9 for taste, but a 4 for how it makes me feel. So I no longer eat candy. Same thing with pastries. Give me a cinnamon roll, donut, or piece of chocolate cake, and that thing is gone in under 10 seconds. But I feel bloated afterwards, and if they use vegetable oils in the baking process, which is practically always the case, it messes up my stomach. So an 8 or 9 for taste, but a 1 for how it makes me feel. Another example, pizza. This depends on your location, but where I live right now, it's impossible to find excellent Neapolitan pizza. Every restaurant serves a mediocre pie. The crust is too thin, the cheese doesn't stand out, the toppings and everything else, it's all just so ordinary. So a 6 on the taste scale, it's edible, but certainly nothing I would go out of my way to spend my money on. So I haven't had a pizza in a long time. Let's take burgers. It's been years since I've been inside a McDonald's. Their burgers are meh. It's consistent, I'll give them that. Whether you're in New York or New Delhi, you know exactly what you're gonna get. But nobody can argue a Big Mac is a culinary treat. Having said that, I do like burgers a lot. A few years ago when I was living in Thailand, I discovered grass-fed beef burgers. And let me tell you, there is no going back to regular meat after you taste one. It's so much better. My favorite place in town serves an incredible grass-fed beef burger with cheddar and jalapenos. Pour some hot sauce on it, and man, that is something special. A 9 or 10 on the taste scale. And this is important, it makes me feel great. A 9 or 10 again. So that burger stays on my list of approved foods I eat a few times per week to satisfy my cravings and never feel any regret. Because it's clean, delicious, healthy. Now that you have graded your favorite foods, we'll make the natural jump to step number 5. Replace bad habits with better, healthier ones. Few people are able to break a bad habit just like that. It's why alcoholics, drug users, junk food addicts, they often relapse when trying to quit cold turkey. So instead of nixing a bad habit, which is very difficult, think of ways to replace it with a more nutritious habit. Beyond switching from McDonald's to that local burger shop with the high quality grass-fed beef and sweet potato fries baked in coconut oil instead of harmful trans fats, or making your own pizza at home, I'll now give you a few great choices to replace sweets. Instead of eating a whole chocolate bar, get some protein pudding and dip some cashews or dried dates in it. You'll get that same sweet chocolate taste in your mouth without wolfing down 1,000 calories and feeling horrible after it. If you're jonesing for candy, throw some Greek yogurt or skyr in a bowl together with strawberries, blueberries, a peach, a banana, and mix it. So delicious, and obviously so much better for you than a pack of gummy bears or M&Ms. Step number 6, schedule specific days where you eat whatever you want, but keep it to one meal. I like to call these treat days instead of the more commonly used cheat day moniker. People just go crazy on cheat days. You've deprived yourself of any of your favorite foods for 6 days in a row, and now it's Sunday, your weekly cheat. What's gonna happen? You're gonna overeat because you're overcompensating for those 6 days that you stuck to eating clean and boring meals. A much smarter approach is to have a few treat meals scattered throughout the week to keep your sanity and taste buds in check. So take those favorite foods you listed in step 4 and strategically place them in your weekly meal plan. You could have a grass-fed burger meal for dinner on Tuesday, eat ice cream after your workout on Thursday, enjoy a chocolate dessert on Saturday evening, and go for a huge sushi meal on Sunday. This way, you still eat everything you wanted over the course of the week, but you never go overboard. This is how you can eat your guilty pleasures while getting super lean without the guilt part. So far, you have admitted junk food holds power over you and it's hard for you to break free. You have written down your body composition goals, you've ranked your guilty pleasures, you've found healthier alternatives to sweets or takeout food, you've placed strategic treat meals in your weekly schedule. Now what? The 7th and last step is you have to put all that prep work into an actionable nutrition plan. This is where the rubber meets the road. Take a few minutes to write down what you're going to eat and when over the next 7 days, so all your meals are planned in advance for the week. By doing this, you take back control over your food choices. It's the same as going to the gym. Following a solid, pre-written training program will produce much better results than trying to come up with an effective workout on the spot. With nutrition, when you have all your daily meals planned ahead of time, you're not going to snack on sweets or visit the drive-thru lane at McDonald's after sports practice because that's not a part of your game plan. If you need any help with coming up with nutritious meals to add to your daily routine, a good place to start is this video showing you 3 excellent breakfast ideas for health and performance. And this video right here about the 5 best protein foods for athletes. Check them out. Thank you for watching. If you want more great training and nutrition tips like this, then hit that like button, subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you in the next video.